Hey, what's up everybody, it's Guy in Kicks here with another review, and in today's video I'm really excited to talk about these sneakers. I finally got a pair of Salomon kicks and I'm really excited to talk to you guys about these because I've been wanting a pair for quite a while and I got these on sale, which is even better. So let's jump into these, let's talk about these shoes. But first, let me show you what they look like. Alright guys, so jumping into the shoes, I'm not going to pretend like I know it all. This is my first pair of Salomon, so if I mess up on anything, definitely leave some comments below. Alright, so some information about the brand. The brand is from France and it was founded by Georges Salomon. Initially, the brand was making equipment for skiing, a lot of the ski boots and things like that. And then eventually the brand started making shoes and sneakers for hiking and trails, some gear for that type of sport as well. And then around 2016 the brand switched things up and they've been focusing a lot more in the lifestyle category. If you go on their website and click on the sports style section, that's where you're gonna find sneakers like these and some of the very popular sneakers that are mainly for lifestyle and everyday use, but that are still staple sneakers for actual hiking and trail. So these shoes are the XT Wings 2 Advanced. They retail for $160. I was able to get them through Packer Shoes for $128, but then you add on the shipping, it came out to about $143, I think it was. So I still got it for a decent price and definitely excited to finally have a pair. So jumping into the colorway on these XT Wings, depending on the website, I think the color is a little bit inaccurate depending on which one you're looking at, because through Packer Shoes, the sneakers look more of a darker gray, but then you see them on the Salomon website and you are gonna see the hits of like olive green on these. And once you have them in hand, and depending on the lighting too, if you have really good lighting, you are gonna see that olive green on these. But if the lighting is not that good, then they're gonna look, more of that darker gray, even a little bit black. So the lighting definitely plays a role on how this colorway looks. So basically the upper on these is basically that. It's like a dark gray with some black and also the olive green. The olive green is primarily gonna be found on the mesh material, and then the darker gray or blacks are gonna be found on the tongue, on the eyelids, and also on this like TPU caging that you'll see throughout the upper of the shoe. And then switching over to the midsole, you're basically gonna have the same thing, a combination of both olive greens and different shades of gray. And then the color on the outsole is mostly that black color, but you do have really cool reds that gives the outsole a really cool contrast. Obviously with this red here around the heel part of the shoe, and then this really bright red in the center where you see that Contra Grip name right there in the middle part of the shoe. In terms of the materials used on the upper, the inside part of the shoe uses this textile material and this black sock lining. The insoles on these XT Wings is an Ortholite insole, so for those that like Ortholite insole, that's a plus. For those that don't, maybe that's a knock there for them. On the insole you have the Salomon brand, which is that S. I believe the A probably stands for advanced. These XT Wings also feature Endo Fit, which is basically like a sock-like material on the inside part of the shoe, which is gonna allow your foot to sort of be molded and feel more comfortable when you slide your foot inside of the shoe. The tongue on these Salomons is made out of a nylon material. You do have some mesh materials on the front. One of the coolest features of most Salomons is the lace system that they have. It's basically a lace lock system. You put your shoes on, you basically pull this tab and slide this back, and this is gonna lock the fit of the laces wherever you want them to be. And then what you could do is you could either leave the laces out, or you can tuck the laces underneath this pouch, which is where this mesh is located. It's definitely very stretchy. It does have an elastic material there, so you can just pull that and then tuck the laces underneath that. The underlays used on the upper of these sneakers is basically this 3D mesh material. It's definitely very breathable. It's one of the things I checked out once I got these, so that's definitely a plus. And then on the upper part of these sneakers, that's where you're gonna find that, it looks like a rubber type material, but it's like that TPU material used around the upper of the shoe. The mudguard does feature a tougher TPU material, which is great because that's gonna protect your toes so you don't, bang your toes on rocks or whatever type of terrain you're running through or walking through. So that material there is definitely hard. It's not super hard where it feels very stiff, but it's hard enough where you feel that it's gonna protect your toes, so that's definitely a plus. On the lateral and medial side, that switches over to that Sensi Fit, which is the cage-like design that you'll see on the lateral and medial side. That's made out of a similar material, but that's definitely more flexible, but still firm enough that it's gonna give you support so your foot is not moving around too much around that part of the shoe. All the way to the heel part of the shoe, you'll find the Salomon brand, and you'll also find this rubber-like plate in the center part there, which will give you some additional heel support there as well, which is a plus. Around the heel counter of the shoe, you're not gonna see anything there. It's not like you can see like a heel stabilizer or anything like that, but once you put pressure on that side, you're gonna feel it a lot stiffer, a lot firm, and that's also gonna give you some additional support so that your foot stays in place. Moving over to the midsole, around the heel part of the shoe on the lateral side, you'll find these 3 little letters, which is ACS, which basically means Agile Chassis System. That's basically this lighter gray, shiny material that you see there that will give the midsole some additional support and rigidity when you're using these for your trails and run. On the outsole of the shoe, you have this really cool design here. Obviously, you feel like these have a lot of grip. These are some very chunky pieces that you see here. Around the forefoot part of the shoe, you're gonna find like these upside down chevron-like designs. And then through there, on the third one, you're gonna find a Profil film, which is basically a film that's above the outsole that protects you from any sharp objects that will go through the outsole and obviously hurt you when you're running or walking or whatever. So definitely a nice feature to have these for sneakers that are mostly going to be used for outdoor use. So in terms of sizing, I actually went half a size up from my normal size 10. I normally buy my sneakers a size 10, other than some of my New Balance sneakers that I mostly go a half size down, especially my Made in USA's. But for these, I went a half size up. Personally, I probably would have been fine with a regular size 10. However, you know, I'm glad that I went with the half size up. Just gives me a little bit of extra room around my toes. My toes feel nice and loose. I don't feel any tightness around my pinky toes or my big toes. So I think going half a size for me worked fine. But if you're someone who wants more of a snug fit, probably go true to size. But if you have wider feet, then absolutely go half size up. In terms of comfort, guys, I have to say that these really surprised me. As soon as I put these on, I was like, whoa, I kind of like how these feel. You know, they do have that endo fit in them, which is like that sock-like system, but it's not like a Huarache, right? A Huarache, you put them on and they really make your toes feel snug. Not these. My toes feel freely, but it's more about like how my foot, you know, fits. It's almost like, you know, like a glove basically, and they really do a good job. I don't know if it's, you know, this narrow type design kind of, you know, looks like a foot, I guess, and it just fits right there and it fits perfect. I really like how it felt when I put these on. In terms of how the midsole feels, you know, of course, these are gonna feel a little bit firm because they're intended for trails and hiking and things like that. You don't want them to be too soft like an Ultra Boost or Nike React or something, but the midsole is still very responsive, has sort of a bounce to it, which is great, but it's not gonna feel too soft, or it's not gonna feel so firm either. So it's a really nice balance, but also, you know, it hits it perfectly for, you know, someone who's really wanting to use these for, you know, trails and things like that. But if you want to use these for regular lifestyle, walk around out and about, I think these will still deliver and still be very comfortable. All right, the shoes came in this mostly brown box. You have some designs of like mountains and things like that. Here's the official tag and SKU. All right, guys, so my final take on these Salomons is that I'm very happy to finally have a pair of Salomons. You know, a lot of people that would respond to me on Instagram whenever I would share a story or something about Salomons, they would always hit me up and say, yo, you need to get a pair of Salomons. You're really gonna love them and things like that. And I knew, you know, based off what they were telling me, I felt like, you know, I should get a pair. And I really liked how they look, you know, from the moment that I really noticed them, right? I'm not gonna say that I've been a fan of Salomons forever, because that's not true. But from the moment that I really noticed them, I was like, yo, these sneakers are pretty cool. And, you know, but I would always put them to the side because, of course, you know, maybe chasing other sneakers, Nikes, New Balances, whatever. But I knew eventually I was gonna buy a pair. The one that I really wanted was the XT6, but the colorway that I wanted was always sold out. You know, I would put my email on Salomon, they would hit me up that they restocked, but they would, you know, email me like at 3 in the morning. So by the time I would check, you know, they would be sold out. But those retail for $190, and I got these for, you know, with shipping and everything, $143. So I'm happy you know, it worked out perfect because I got a pair and a silhouette that I really like, and it was cheaper. So it's a win-win. But overall, guys, I just like this design a lot. It's very sleek. I like the materials and how everything is, you know, has a purpose. You know, they're really detailed about it. It's not like they're just throwing things on here just to make the shoe look cool. Everything has a perfect, the technology on this is really good. I love, you know, the lacing system is cool. Like I said, you can tuck this away right here around the tongue area. You can tuck it in underneath that mesh. It has that pouch where you can hide the laces if you don't like how they look. But you have the option to leave it out, or you can tuck it away, and it looks a lot cleaner and sleeker. You know, I really like the materials on these guys. It feels very premium. I love how the materials on the top, this TPU here, the mesh, the midsole, I love how like shiny it looks. Even the outsole on this looks very shiny and sharp. It looks like it's actual metal. Very cool how they made that look. You know, it just looks so premium and it feels really, really good in hand. So basically guys, what I'm saying is that if you don't own a pair of Salomons and you want something different, you're tired of all the, you know, hype brands and things like that, you want to wear something different, grab a pair of Salomons. You're gonna be very happy. And if you're someone who, you know, goes on hikes, you know, walks trails and things like that, I mean, these are probably gonna be the one to grab. So definitely recommend that for that as well. Overall, nice quality, nice construction here. Feels really good. Comfort is great. Definitely a lot of positive things to say about these sneakers. Happy to have them in my collection. And with all that being said, let me lace these up and show you how they look on feet. Alright guys, so that's it for me. Hopefully this video brought you a detailed look of the Salomon XT Wings 2 Advanced. If you own pairs of Salomons and you want to, you know, give me any recommendations, definitely leave some comments below. Let me know what you think about these as well. And like always guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you to all the new subscribers. If you're new to the channel and you like the content, hit that like button, subscribe as well. I'll leave a link to my Instagram page where you can go follow me there too. I like to share information about sneakers, any links that I have about restocks or shock drops or whatever the case. Anything I can get to help you guys get W, I'll try to do so. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.